for receiving this opportunity to serve all of you. Yeah. So, before we begin, as every day you invoke the blessings of lordships by chanting mantras, the prayers before starting. We will also again today we'll start with this session with prayers. Okay, I'll repeat. I'll chant prayers. You can all repeat after me. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. नम ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देव्ये
नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे
निर्विशेष शून्यवादी
विशेष शून्यवादी
पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे
पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
प्रभु नित्यानंद
ओ नित्यानंद
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद
वासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा
हरे कृष्णा
कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा
कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे
कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे
हरे रामा
हरे राम
राम राम हरे
राम राम हरे हरे
Yeah. So, till yesterday, you would have heard, from many days, you're consistently attending so many Bhagavad Gita classes. And till yesterday, you would have heard, in this sixth chapter, especially, we are continuing. Now, Krishna has explained this process of Ashtanga Yoga, from Nishkam Karma Yoga to Ashtanga Yoga. He has explained how, you have to control your mind senses. There are different steps and all. Then yesterday, especially yesterday, Arjuna, has questioned Krishna. Not question, it's like he's expressing his heart. Oh, Krishna, you're asking me to, control my mind. But, oh, Krishna, Chanchalam Himana Krishna Pramati Bhalavad Drudam, saying my mind is so fierce, it's actually very easy to control the wind than to control the mind. Oh, Krishna, it's very tough. What should I do? I'm not understanding. He's expressing his concern to Krishna. And today what we are going to do, we are going to see what is the reply of Krishna to this, sharing of heart by Arjuna. What did Krishna reply to him after Arjuna expressed his concern that, oh, Krishna, it's too difficult for me to control the mind. How can I control? Please tell me. It it actually looks like, it's very easy to control the wind than to control the mind. No, please tell me what should I do to control the mind? Is there any way? Like that, he's asking Arjuna. He expressed the nature of mind. It's very balavad. Yesterday, you have heard so many, various descriptions of nature of mind. It's very balavad. It's like very obstinate mind. So what should I do? Now Krishna is responding. We'll see. I'll just share the screen. This verse. We can all repeat after. No, I'll recite the verse. You can repeat after me. Yeah. श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
असंशयं महाबाहो
असंशयं महाबाहो
मनो दुर्निग्रहं चलम्
मनो दुर्निग्रहं चलम्
अभ्यासेन तु कौन्तेय
अभ्यासेन तु कौन्तेय
वैराग्येन च गृह्यते.
वैराग्येन च गृह्यते.
So immediately after Arjuna expressing his concern, Krishna would have not told, "Hey Arjuna, what kind of person you are? In the childhood you have, shoot that, when Dronacharya asked, what are you able to see, when there is a bird sitting on the, what you say, tree." Arjuna immediately answered, saying that, I'm able to see that one eye, just the eye, that much pinpointed focus he was having. Krishna would have told, "Arey, for you, what you're speaking, mind control of mind is very easy. You can just control the mind. Arey, you're saying as if, everyone is able to very easily control his mind. You are the only one you're not able to control the mind." Like that, Krishna would have told something. But see how loving reply that Krishna is giving here. We'll read the translation. You can repeat after me. No, you can read this translation. Lord Krishna said, "O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and detachment and by detachment." Krishna is saying here, Asamshayam Mahabaho. Oh, my dear Arjuna, there is no doubt at all that it's very difficult to control the mind. Mano Durnigraham Chalam. He's saying, yes, oh Arjuna, I understand your concern. Control of mind is actually really very difficult. He's giving that surety. What you're saying is a problem, actually, concern that needs to be taken into account. Don't worry, there is a solution. And he's using the word Kaunteya. Kaunteya means, oh, son of Kunti. There is a very special significance why Krishna is using this specific word Kaunteya in this context. He's saying, because Arjuna is already looks like he little lost his composure, he's looking little sad, depressed kind of thing. Now Krishna is giving him little support, emotional support, saying, oh, son of Kunti. He's saying as if, you are my very close relative, you are son of, my father's sister's son, Kunti's son. Don't worry. Where will I go? I will take care of you. Don't worry. I will support you. I'm there. And he's giving his confidence. He's giving emotional support, everything. And then saying the solution. Always giving emotional support at the same time is giving solution as well. What is that solution? Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. What are the two things? You just need to do two things. That's all. You'll be able to control the mind. What are the two things? One is practice, suitable practice, and second one is detachment. With these two things in place, oh my dear Arjuna, you'll be able to conquer your mind. And why you have to at all conquer your mind? That entire purpose you would have heard again and again in entire discussions of this, Bhagavad Gita sessions. It's only so that we can practice the process of yoga. Although in this context, specifically the Ashtanga Yoga or Nishkam Karma Yoga to the change the Ashtanga Yoga, that discussion is going on. But we as a devotees, our goal is to revive our relationship with Krishna. This is our goal. For us, the word yoga means connection. What is that connection? The soul, conditioned soul, connecting back to God. That's what we are wanting, reviving our eternal relationship, the lost relationship with God back. That's what our goal is, our entire process of Bhakti Yoga's goal. Now, for that, also the control of mind is very much required. If not done, there is a huge risk. We'll read the purport and we'll continue this discussion again. No? The difficulty of controlling the obstinate mind, as expressed by Arjuna, is accepted by Supreme Personality of Godhead. But at the same time, he suggests that by practice and detachment, it is possible. What is that practice? In the age of Kali, no one can observe the strict rules and regulations of placing oneself in a sacred place, focusing the mind on supersoul, restraining the senses and mind, observing celibacy, remaining alone, etc. By the practice of Krishna consciousness, however, one engages in 9 types of devotional service of the Lord to the Lord. The first and foremost of such devotional engagements is hearing about Krishna. This is the very powerful transcendental method for purging the mind of all misgivings. The more one hears about Krishna, the more one becomes enlightened and detached from everything that draws the mind away from Krishna. By detaching the mind from activities not devoted to the Lord, one can very easily learn Vairagya. Vairagya means detachment from matter and engagement of mind in spirit. Impersonal spiritual detachment is more difficult than attaching the mind to the activities of Krishna. This is practical because by hearing about Krishna, one becomes automatically attached to Supreme Spirit. This attachment is called Para Ishanubhava, spiritual satisfaction. It is just like feeling of satisfaction a hungry man has for every morsel of food he eats. The more one eats while hungry, the more one feels satisfaction and strength. Similarly, by discharge of devotional service, one feels transcendental satisfaction as the mind becomes detached from material objectives. It is something like curing a disease by expert treatment and appropriate diet. Hearing of transcendental activities of Lord Krishna is therefore expert treatment for mad mind, and eating the foodstuff offered to Krishna is appropriate diet for suffering patient. This treatment is the process of Krishna consciousness. Hri Bol. Such a wonderful purport by Srila Prabhupada. No? Yeah, I'll just stop sharing the screen and we'll discuss. So the context you have understood, right? The context is coming in between of this Ashtanga yoga process. It's also one type of yoga process where Arjuna is feeling, oh my God, my mind is so restless. Like actually, Arjuna is representing all of us, the conditioned souls of this Kali Yuga, and he's saying, oh Krishna, it's very difficult to control the mind. It's better I can control the wind. That looks little easier than to control the mind. What should I be doing? Then immediately Krishna is saying, oh my dear Arjuna, don't worry. It's very, by regular practice and by detachment, you will be able to control the mind so that you will be able to practice yoga nicely. So we as a devotees, when you read this purport, you can understand. Actually, in this Kali Yuga, it's really very difficult to practice all that Ashtanga yoga process. So the best process that is suitable in this Kali Yuga is Bhakti Yoga or direct devotional service to the Lord. What is that direct devotional service? There are 9 limbs of devotional service. As mentioned in the purport, there are 9 various limbs of devotional service. You might have already heard by now. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. What is that? Hearing, chanting, offering prayers, developing friendship with the Lord, doing Pada Sevanam, all these things. There are total 9 limbs of devotional service. And even in that 9 limbs of devotional service, hearing is the most important devotional service because by regularly hearing, what all of you are doing now, you are every day regularly without fail, you are coming together for this Bhagavad Gita sessions and regularly hearing. That's what Krishna is also saying. Oh, my dear Arjuna, if you do this regularly, then what will happen? One day you'll be able to conquer the mind. That's all. No, very easy solution. Practice. What is that practice? The practice which Krishna mentioning is here is a practice that needs to be done every day. Actually, that comes in the very next verse 6.36, where he uses the word practical application of practice that you're doing. That he says every day you need to do. Why every day? That is because, say, for example, if a patient is there, is suffering from some disease, and imagine the disease is very obstinate. No, by obstinate, do you understand this word obstinate? Obstinate means very stubborn. Stubborn means, he's taking some pill, which is very powerful pill. Still is getting, one day it took, second day, third day, fourth day, but there is no change. The disease is not going. Now, what is the solution then? Under the guidance of doctor, he should be taking that medicine regularly. One point of time, that body will show some changes, positive changes. That way, for this obstinate mind, what should be the solution? The solution is you need to practice every day. You need to practice because mind is very obstinate. That's what yesterday you heard the nature of mind. Very obstinate, very tough. Just like a dog's tail. It can never be straight. Similarly, it's very difficult for for us to control the mind. But what we need to do? We need to give lot of positive inputs every day, every day, every day. We need to keep giving lot of positive inputs. Then what happened naturally when we hear so much about Krishna, 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 slowly, slowly that enjoying mentality, because the mind is filled with lot of enjoying mentality. What is that enjoying mentality? For every small thing, it keeps thinking, what will I get? How can I enjoy? What is it in it for me? This is what mind keeps thinking, the enjoying mentality. But when we hear about Krishna, when we hear about devotees, what will happen is this tendency of mind keep converting into seva bhav. What is that seva bhav? Instead of thinking about my happiness, I will start thinking about Krishna's happiness. I will start thinking about others' happiness. When that bhav keeps arising in our heart more and more, more and more, more and more, what will happen? So slowly the mind gets always keep thinking, how can I serve Krishna? How can I serve others, people of this world? Then what will happen is mind comes into control. It will not crave, where is the enjoyment, where is enjoyment? Mind is like monkey. Yesterday you would have heard this nature of mind. Mind is like monkey, it keeps jumping from one branch to another. Where will I get enjoyment? Where will I get enjoyment? Like that. But when it's completely focused on Krishna, then what will happen is naturally the mind gets, what you say, controlled, because now it will not start searching for happiness, what will I get, but it will start searching for how to make Krishna happy, how to make people of this world happy. When it starts thinking like that, that is the case when it gets what you say, controlled. And that comes by practice. What is that practice? Every day the most important practice is hearing about Krishna. And when we hear about Krishna, obviously we'll come to know that the most important thing that we need to do is chanting the names of Krishna. That is the second one, Kirtanam. When you keep hearing, then we'll immediately come to this conclusion that chanting the holy names of the Lord is the most important process that we need to follow, especially in this Kali Yuga. There is no other process that we can do. Then when we understand that, we'll regularly chant the holy names of the Lord. That will help us to revive our relationship with the Lord. And that is what the entire process of yoga is. That's what our goal of this human form of life is. And the second one is detachment. So what is this detachment? As far as within the context, if you see, it is coming in the process of yoga, Ashtanga yoga, where actually the detachment is basically, suppose if I do some activity, I will get, initially I may get some pleasure, but at the behind there is some misery attached to it because it's a matter, it's not a spirit, it's not something related to spirit soul. That's why I'll not do it. I'll not do it. There are many activities which we keep rejecting. This is how Ashtanga Yogi keeps rejecting many activities of this world, and he engages only into some yogic process. Yama, niyama, pranayama, all these things you would have heard the various procedures that Ashtanga Yogi does. But what is it for a Bhakti Yogi? What does that renunciation means? For a Bhakti Yogi like all of us, who are practicing devotional service to Lord, to please the Lord, this renunciation means anything that is unfavorable to the process of devotional service, will reject it. There are some do's and there are some don'ts. What are the do's? That is something which we practice. What is that? Hearing, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, all these things. These are do's, that are practices. And there are some things which are like don'ts we should not do. Say, for example, devotees does not, they follow four regulative principles. What are the four regulative principles? They don't get into, intoxication. They don't get into illicit sex. They don't get into meat eating. They don't get into gambling. So this is one of the don'ts. These are very unfavorable because this will increase a lot of enjoying mentality and it will take us away from Krishna. That's why we don't indulge in that activities. Similarly, there are many other regulative principles which we follow. No, there are some certain don'ts which are actually, becoming like they come as a stumbling blocks between us and Krishna. That's why we try to avoid that. And that is what is called as renunciation. The Vairagya means if something can be used in service of Krishna, we use it. That is practice. And something which, becoming an obstacle in our path of devotional service, we reject it. That is what, that is called as Vairagya. Another, this I gave a very gross meaning of Vairagya. That is, we give up some material, what you say, some things which becomes a mental blocks or, obstacles in path of devotional service. But there is more subtler things which are actually becoming an obstacles in our devotional service. What is that? Again, the same enjoying mentality which I was saying, right? Mind is having enjoying mental that what will I get? What will I get? This enjoying mentality on the jiva is actually the greatest obstacle that is coming between jiva and Krishna, the soul and the super soul, the enjoying mentality. So that needs to be given up. That's why that is called vairagya for a devotee, giving up enjoying mentality. In that enjoying mentality, many keeps coming. Even the four things which I was saying, intoxication, gambling, illicit sex, in what is a the four meat eating and all. This also even because of that enjoying mentality only that is actually coming onto the jiva. So that we give up. You understood the two things. What are the two things? Practice and detachment. What is the practice? The do's that we do in Krishna consciousness. Anything that is favorable, we accept it. And what is the second one? Vairagya. Anything that is unfavorable, we reject it. As simple as that. Vairagya does not mean we give up our responsibilities. No. We engage our responsibilities in such a way that as an offering to the Lord. Just like Arjuna in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, he told, "Oh, I'll just run away from battlefield. I'll give up my responsibility. I'll go into forest and I'll stay there." And Krishna is saying, "No, no, no. You need to practice yoga. You fight, but fight for my pleasure. You fight as an offering for my pleasure. You fight as an offering for my service," like that Krishna told. Similarly, that is the instruction for all the conditioned souls of this world, like all of us, where Krishna is saying, "Oh, my dear souls, my dear Jivatmas, what you need to do is give up that enjoying mentality which is actually making you suffer in this world and take up to the beautiful process of devotional service. Develop a positive attitude of serving Lord. Serving, Krishna is saying serving me. and serving the living, all the living entities, so that they can also come closer to the Lord. This is what Krishna is saying. The practice. For us, the Bhakti Yoga is, this is the practice. We need not, as Prabhupada was mentioning in purpose, we need not go to forest, give up everything, go to forest and, do all types of various strong rules and regulations, yama, niyama, pranayama, all these things we need not do. For us, we are blessed with the beautiful process of this Bhakti Yoga process. Keep hearing about the Lord just like all of you are doing every day so sincerely. That is very nice. And the second thing is chanting the names of the Lord every day. You're consistently doing. Some of you are doing even more rounds. Here combined together we are chanting one round. If you have more time, some of you are already chanting many rounds. At your own place and all. That's very nice. These are the things we take up. And there are some things which are becoming an obstacle coming between you and Krishna, that we are happy to give up, because that is actually making us suffer in this world. That is the second part, vairagya. With this, I will close today's discussion. Today we learned two powerful techniques for controlling our mind. What is that? Developing the seva bhav by practice regularly. Because the mind is very obstinate, this needs to be practiced every day. That's why you would have observed, even we are conducting these sessions every day. It's not that we are conducting once in a week or once in a month. Will any medicine taken once in a week or once in a month work? Generally, they don't. Every day it needs to be taken, especially if the disease is very obstinate, very stubborn. You need to take it every day. That's why even the disease which we are having, actually, the enjoying mentality needs to be followed. The medicine needs to be taken every day. That is hearing about Lord and chanting the names of the Lord, which are the very powerful techniques, especially in this age of Kali Yuga. With this, I close our discussion today. Thank you very much. I am very grateful that I'm able to serve all of you in whatever significant way possible. Thank you. Hare Krishna. You can all please share what you have learned today in our WhatsApp group, as you're already sharing every day. Also, if you have any doubts, you can please post your questions on WhatsApp group. Thank you. Hare Krishna.